So if the state government does not set up a state election commission, the elections will never be held on time. Most important things are taken up by the MP or MLA, not everything. Arunachal Pradesh, all these places, many places you keep seeing. With the state elections, always there is confusion. MLA is going from one party, joining the other party, from this party, going to the other party, always it is there. I am not joking. That is a pretty normal sentence these days in the state of Kerala. You will conduct your wedding only after you get a job. What you cannot do during the campaign, that is what Model Code of Conduct is. That kicks in from the time the Election Commission of India announces when will the election occur. So everybody has a clarity. NDA is ruling. India Alliance is the opposition. No confusion there. To actually brush the whole thing aside as an infringement to the privacy of a woman and her bodily rights is nothing but patriarchy at its peak. Hello everyone. I'm back again with the 6th chapter of our NCERT series. Without any further delay, let me take you right into it. But before that, a few things to introduce. Again, this is my official Telegram channel. You want to reach out to me with regard to any query of yours, you can contact me over here. In addition to this, Public Administration English batch, which will most probably start between November to December, it will start, where 80% of the content will be delivered in English. A few difficult sentences, terms, etc. will be explained in Hindi. PPT, material, every content will be in English language only. Moving on. Again, an announcement. So the last Titan batch of this year, those who are still planning to give their attempt in 2026, for especially if you are in a do or die situation, then definitely I would recommend you to take up the Titan batch. For those of you who still have time, who want to do it, gradually, slowly, especially for working professionals, college students, I would recommend to take up the Pinnacle batch because it is not so jam-packed and, the class schedules are also pretty much spread out so that you can take it aram se where your work life or neither your college life, both of it won't be affected. At a price of 13,499. Any other queries, contact this number 080-7117-446. All class notes will be available in the PW app free of cost. Download the app and you have this NCERT preparation for UPSC aspirants in English. Click on enroll now. Just put in your basic level details and you will get access to it. Alright. Now this NCERT series, like I told you, yes, it is mostly important for the UPSC students. But you can refer to these series, especially if you're preparing for government exams. Got the point here? Moving on. So election and representation is the chapter that we are going to deal with here. So let us try to understand this. First thing is, we have 3 tiers of government. 3 tiers. 3 tiers, when I say, it simply means 3 levels are there. So 3 levels. Let us see. We have the center. Then you have the state. The bottom. Center, state, and then local government. When I say local government, it simply means panchayats and municipalities. Correct? So these are the things. Before we head on with our discussion, one thing which we know clearly is center elections happens regularly. That is every 5 years. State election also happens every 5 years. There is no doubt about it. Until and unless, obviously, if the government loses its majority, only then you will have an election early. Otherwise, 5 years normally every government will complete and then the election is conducted, where the responsibility of conducting the election is with the Election Commission of India. However, when it comes to the local governments, that is the elections for panchayats and municipalities, the elections are largely irregular. What is the reason for that? The reason is largely because these elections, election to panchayat and municipalities, they are conducted by the State Election Commission. And who has to appoint the State Election Commission? Appointment of State Election Commission is made by the SEC. Sorry, is made by the state government. So if the state government does not set up a state election commission, the elections will never be held on time. And if elections are never held on time, panchayats and municipalities won't be there. And when panchayats and municipalities are not there, then what will happen? Then you will have very poor rural governance, very poor urban governance. Ultimately, who will suffer? The people who live in these cities, the people who live in these villages, they will suffer. Simple story. Got the point here? Why am I taking the trouble to tell you at least this much is, this was a question that came this year. Very indirectly it had come in this year's GS2 mains exam under governance topic. Alright, very indirectly they had asked it. So that is the reason. Just to give you a brief idea, this election commission, this state election commission. And again, we know with regard to Election Commission of India also, there are a lot of controversies these days. We will see it one by one. So, when we talk about elections, we need to understand elections are held where generally? Generally in a democracy, not in a monarchy. In a democracy, people will grant power through elections and elected individuals will form the government, MP, MLA. Whereas in a monarchy, ultimate decision-making authority is the king. Best example, Saudi Arabia. The government is accountable to the people explaining actions and decisions. That means in our country also, the government has to answer to whom? Government has to answer to the parliament for whatever questions are being asked. Monarchs may consult a small group, but ultimate power lies with them. That is, monarchy may consult. They may consult. They may consult again whom? Only largely the members within their royal family. It is very rare that the monarchy will consult people from outside their family. Unlike democracy, monarchs are not obligated to explain actions or decisions to the people. They don't have to answer it. So parliament asks questions to the government. Why? Because these are the questions that the people want to ask. Here, no such system is there. Then types and characteristics. We have direct democracy, we have indirect democracy. Direct democracy means citizens directly participate in the day-to-day decision making and in the running of the government. For example, working with Gram Sabhas in India. That is the only place where you can actually see direct democracy in place. Like I told you in our earlier chapter, that is, Gram Sabha's permission is required. You need to do any activity in the 5th and 6th schedule areas. That is direct democracy. They are involved in all the decision making there. That is direct democracy. What do you mean by indirect democracy? In indirect democracy, citizens choose their representatives who are actively involved in governing and administering the country. For example, the general elections that takes place in Lok Sabha and State Assembly. If you actually see, we are only electing the MP or the MLA. We don't elect the minister. Who becomes the minister, who becomes the chief minister, who becomes the prime minister, etc. It is a later decision. Sometimes they will announce, this is our prime ministerial candidate. Sometimes they will announce, this is our chief ministerial candidate. Sometimes there will be no such announcement. Only after the, okay, this party has won. Only after that they will declare, okay, this person is going to be the chief minister. This person is going to be this minister. This person will get that portfolio. Got it? That is what you call an indirect democracy. Democratic governments are generally considered to be what? Representative. They are all representative democracies. So whatever I have, that is, whatever I have in the sense, whatever opinion I have, that is represented by, through what? Through my MP or my MLA of my constituency. People do not participate directly. That is true. So whatever opinion or ideas I have, are all of it represented directly? No. Most important things are taken up by the MP or MLA, not everything. That is how it will work. You cannot actually cater to all the desires and aspirations of all the people in a constituency. Representatives meet and take decisions. That is, all the MPs will meet together. Whoever has formed the government, they will take a decision. Similarly, all the MLAs will meet together and they will take up a decision. And again, universal adult franchise. Anybody who is more than the age of 18 years, irrespective of caste, color, creed, sex, property owned, whatever it is, you are eligible or you have the right to vote. Why? Because in a democratic government, one of the first and foremost condition is political democracy. Got it, people? Need for elections. Enable people to select their representatives. You can select it. That is why you always have the option to change it. Age, experience, or knowledge. All these matters there. Regular turnover of representatives. Turnover of representatives means I can change them anytime they want. That is why the political executive, that is the politicians whom we elect, they form the government, right? The political executive is always called temporary executive because governments may come, governments may go. At the same time, what about the government servants? Government servants are actually called what? Permanent executive. Why permanent? Until and unless you commit a Himalayan blunder, nobody is going to remove you. BJP tomorrow, NDA alliance may change, NDA government may change, and maybe India alliance will come. You are an IAS officer. Will anything happen to you? Yes, maybe you may get transferred from one point to the other, or you may get a new posting, whatever. That is different. But you don't lose your job. An MP's or MLA's job is only guaranteed when they win the next election. There is no permanent guarantee for it. Because Indian voters, anything can happen. But an IAS officer or IPS officer or any central government, state government job you talk about, government may come, government may go, but your job is never going to change. Got the point here, people? Enable voters to choose their legislators, their executive, and the party. Which party you want to win, which government you want to have, which MPs you want to be in the legislature, or MLAs you want to be in the legislature, all of that is ensured how? Through elections. That is why you need elections where in a democratic form of government or in a democracy, you need elections. Getting the point here. And every 5 years it is kept. Minimum 5 years. Because 5 years at least is required to implement any policies. Minimum. To see its change, etc. Anything lesser than that, it will be too less. Anything more than that will lead to what? One party ruling for so many years. So if I am not satisfied with the party, I want to change it. It's within 5 years I can change the vote. Got the point? Moving on. Elections and democracy goes hand in glove together because like I told you, right to vote as well as right to contest. As well as Article 19. You have always the freedom to form an association of your choice. Getting the point here. Then a visible symbol. A visible symbol is required because why this visible symbol is needed is not everybody will be able to read. But at least looking at the party symbol, you can go and vote. Election and democracy. Types of election. Direct election is it's a simple majority system. Simple majority system means all you have to get is more than 50% of the votes you get. 50% people voted for you. Then obviously you have won. Or you got the highest votes. It is done. Indirect election is proportional representation. I'll come to that. Elections are conducted by the Election Commission. Structure and its responsibilities. That is, Election Commission of India is there. One election commissioner is the Chief Election Commissioner. To assist him, there are 2 other commissioners. Electoral system. What is the drawback and its reforms? Such type of a system where you are going on electing. What are the drawbacks in it and what are the reforms what we need in it? Political parties are national parties and state parties. Then psephology, which is basically the study of the voting behavior, voting pattern, the number of voters in a region, age, group, etc. Their preferences, all of it. These are the overall topics. Let us see. Features of democratic election. First of all, equal participation. Everybody has a right to participate. Conducted regularly. Like I told you, 5 years. Exceptional cases are there if the party loses its majority. It reflects people's will. You like it or not, it reflects ultimately what? The choice of the people. It has nothing to do with, oh, EVM, voting machine, this voting machine is wrong, this is not right. It is not like how the opposition says. I've told this earlier also. Electronic voting machine, when you talk about, it is not that in the night they will come. Okay, let us keep this machine here. Nobody is seeing. That is not how it is done. When the voting EVM machines are brought, there will be representatives of the political parties there in every polling booth. They have to actually check the machine. They will each one of them. If there are 5 parties, means 5 of the representatives should stand there and check it. It is done very publicly. And they are satisfied. They have to sign. Yes, this machine is fine. Only then it is placed in the booth. This is the process involved. Many people don't know this. I think even the movie makers also have no idea how this system is done. And if they have a problem, that machine is immediately kept aside. You cannot keep that machine there. So until and unless there is a approval from these booth agents, you cannot actually place the machine there. It is as simple as that. Whether you are from ruling, whether you are from opposition, or whether you are some random new party also, that is the criteria. It ensures political competition. Correct? Always there is a freedom of choice. Today you are voting for one party, tomorrow you may vote for another party. Merits and demerits of political competition. Serving citizens versus party politics. So ultimately, why you have elections or this political competition? Why do you have it? Who can serve the citizens better? But what is actually happening is it leads to party politics. Party politics means somehow I want to come into power. For that, what should I do? That is the main thing. So today, one party will be in alliance with one party. Tomorrow, they will change the alliance again. Getting the point here. That is, JDS earlier in the state elections of Karnataka, JDS supported Congress in the state election. But in the 2024 election, JDS supported BJP. So this varies. And ultimately, it is all about to win the election more than serving the people. Reward versus disunity and factionalism. So the reward is what? You win the election, etc. You want to do good for the people. You want to serve the country, etc., etc. But what is actually happening here? Parties may go and join. MLAs may leave one party and go and join another party. As witnessed in Maharashtra, as witnessed in the state elections of Karnataka, as witnessed in maybe even Arunachal Pradesh, all these places, many places you keep seeing. With the state elections, always there is confusion. MLAs going from one party, joining the other party, from this party, going to the other party, always it is there. Accountability and responsiveness were senseless policies. That is, every political party is supposed to be what? Accountable to the people, respond to whatever people's demands are. But what ultimately happens is senseless policies are brought into picture just to stay in power. Best example for that is freebies. My earlier chapter, I already told you, close to 8%, more than 8% of GDP, you are spending on what? Subsidies. If you add freebies also into the list, that is, freebies are not announced by central government, that much we know, it is generally announced by state. But if I'm going to add that also into the list, let me tell you, total GDP, more than 10% of GDP goes into subsidies and freebies from which there is no return. You're not getting any return out of it. It is not actually helping the economy. It is not actually socially empowering anybody. Nothing. Simply money is being spent. More than 10% of the GDP. Until and unless we don't bring this value around, don't blame why the health is doing low in our country, why education is poor in our country, why research and development is low in our country. Don't blame. Don't blame at all, because if I take out this completely, 3% if I add to health, plus 3% for health, plus 3% for education, plus 3% for R&D, I will write and give it to you. We will overtake, forget China. We will be the #1 country in the world for the next coming years. For at least another 50 years or 75 years or what say, even 100 years. Population we already have. All we need is what? The right amount of investment in health sector, education sector and research and development. End of the story. But unfortunately, it will never happen because political competition means how to stay in power. And to stay in power, what it will lead to? Senseless policies as well as dirty tricks. Dirty tricks, arresting a person and throwing them in jail, or arresting an MP or an MLA and putting them in jail, trying to create a negative public perception, or using religion, caste to win votes, religion, caste, language, maybe even region. Again, I will take the example of Mr. Rajinikanth because that is less controversial now in 2025. As soon as Rajinikanth had announced that he will enter into politics, was about to launch his political party, etc., most of his peers from the Tamil film industry, they were all busy giving bites to the media, trying to remind them that Rajinikanth is not a Tamilian. Rajinikanth is not a Tamilian. So it is true, he is not a Tamilian. He's not originally from Tamil Nadu. True. But what is the necessity to reveal it? Does it mean that a non-Tamilian cannot stand for election inside Tamil Nadu? Because that is a clear violation of political democracy. Correct. That state actually had two non-Tamilian chief ministers. Or roots-wise I'm talking about. Roots, original roots, if you see, trace the roots of the two chief ministers of Tamil Nadu in the past. Original roots, if you trace back, they are not actually from Tamil Nadu. Can you name those two chief ministers that I'm talking about? So that shouldn't be a problem actually, correct? That a person is actually from outside the state or was from outside the state. Now he's settled, he knows to speak the language, he knows to write the language, etc. He has acted in so many blockbuster movies, etc. That shouldn't be a problem. That is dirty tricks. Trying to remind the voters of the origins of the candidate just so that that particular person should not win the election. Later, Rajinikanth himself told that he is not going to enter into politics anymore. XYZ reason. I mean, just like we say, he has the freedom to form his association. He also has the freedom to disband any association. All right, people. Moving on now. Election system in India. Lok Sabha 5 years. There will be a general election and sometimes by-elections are also there. By-election simply means suddenly an MP post becomes vacant or an MLA post becomes vacant. An MLA or an MP in a constituency, that post becomes vacant. Maybe passed away or bad health, whatever. Resigned from the party, whatever it is. Then in that scenario, election will be conducted only for that constituency, not for the entire state. Only for that constituency it will be created. It will be conducted. Electoral constituencies, area-based system of representation. Area-based, it is this much area, one constituency, this much population. For this much population, one MP. This much population, one MLA. 543 constituencies are there. It's the same structure, be it for an MP or an MLA. Equal value of votes and equal representations. That is, I have only one vote, one value, and one representative. From my constituency, I will have one MLA. MP constituency will be there. And from our MLA constituency also, I'll have one MLA. One representative. In the Legislative Assembly, one representative in the Parliament. Reservation of constituencies. Historical context, we have reservation. That is reservation. SC, ST, we have it. If you really go back, we know the communal award. Correct. Reservation on the basis of religion. Separate electorates for Muslims, etc. was created. We don't have it today. Today what we have is reservation for SC, ST. Reservation for women is there. But that bill, by the time it will take at least 1 or 2 years for it to become practically applicable. Disadvantage of FPTP for smaller social group. So what is this FPTP? FPTP simply means first past the post system. First past the post system means, let us say in a constituency, there are 100 people, or rather 100 voters are there. Okay. So one person, and there are, let us say 5 candidates. A got 35 votes. B got 30. C got 25. 30 plus 25, 55. 55 plus 3, 58. Plus 2, 60, 35. Oof. Once again, A has 35 votes, B has 30, C has 25, D has 37. 10, 35, 35 plus 30, 65 plus 35, total 100. First past the post system means who got the maximum first? Who got the maximum first? That is the only question here. So if you actually look at it, A got 35 votes, B got only 30, C got 25, D got 3, E got 7. So who is the winner here? A is the winner because he is the one who got the maximum. But you look at it from the other side. What do you see? 65 votes were against A. That is, to put it in percentage form, 65 percentage did not like A. It was only 35 percentage who liked A. This is the problem with the first past the post system. And maybe this D and E could have been, this could have been SC/ST. This could have been particularly vulnerable tribal group. So these people are not being represented inside the legislature. As an MP or an MLA, they are not being registered. And we use this system for Lok Sabha election and legislative state election. So what happens? That is state legislative assembly. So what happens? Generally, it does not truly represent all the sections of the society. It only represents a few, not everyone. This is the problem with first past the post system. Then why are we using this? Because this is easy. Easy to understand. Even an illiterate person also will understand how the system works. First past the post system. Who got maximum votes? That is the only criteria here. At the time of independence, 86% of our country was actually illiterate. So if you try to explain the proportional system or single transferable vote system, they will be like, what? That is how it would have been. So that is why we use only the first past the post system. The significance of reservation, the extent of reservation, today it is confined to SC/ST, women. It is confined to these three categories. Why are we doing it? So that to make it all the more inclusive. That is the main reason behind it. Taking it further forward, delimitation process. Now, delimitation process simply means based on the population, we need to know whether we should increase the number of MPs or MLAs. This is going to be the next controversy in the coming years. Because the new Central Vista, the new parliament, which is part of the Central Vista project, actually has more number of seats. You have seen the videos, you will see that there are many seats there which are lying vacant. Why? Especially in the Lok Sabha. Why? Because they are going to start this delimitation process, which is there in the constitution. That is, as per the constitution, you have to set up a delimitation commission based on what? Based on the population. That is, population has increased means you will also have to increase what? Population goes up. So you will also have to increase the number of MPs and number of MLAs. That is the point here. And interestingly enough, why this will become a controversy is southern states, especially when you take up Always draw Sri Lanka so that people will not get confused that it is some ice cream melted or something. All right. Because generally, if you see, southern states have very less population. And in that, again, if you see, in among the southern states again, the state of Kerala currently has a high amount of old age population. Because youth is declining. Many people are not getting married. The married ones are deciding not to have babies. Their combination is very high in the state of Kerala thanks to education. Women have complete freedom to pursue their graduation, post-graduation. That is, it is perfectly normal in the state of Kerala for parents to say, get a job first, only then we are going to conduct your wedding. I am not joking. That is a pretty normal sentence these days in the state of Kerala. We will conduct your wedding only after you get a job. Meanwhile, if you find somebody there in your workspace, come and tell us. If everything is okay, we will conduct it. The family, everything is okay, we will conduct it. This is the scenario there. As a result of which, population decline is there in Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Andhra, Telangana. What the central government has said is, see, population is less, I agree, but we will not reduce your MPs or MLAs there. Because when population decreases, obviously MPs or MLAs has to decrease because it's a pan-Indian phenomenon. So if I am keeping, let us say, 10 lakhs, for every 10 lakh of the population, one MP, if I keep, I have to keep that same 10 lakhs, be it in UP, same 10 lakhs, be it in Kerala, correct? But in Kerala, Tamil Nadu and this region, we basically know what? It is all getting old and old. Young population is less. And I have promised also, okay, listen, I am not going to reduce your MP number. For whatever 10 lakhs you have one MP, we will maintain it that way only. Okay. So what is the issue then? Issue is population in Rajasthan, UP, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, in all these places. Karnataka, again, not so high also, but among the southern states, slightly higher. In most of the larger states, if you see, the population is on the higher side. So what is going to happen is, in most of the northern states, northern, western, eastern states, you will basically have what? You will basically have a high increase in the number of MPs or MLAs. You know what will happen because of that? In other words, a few states in North India is enough to decide the outcome of the election. UP, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, etc. If you count, that is enough to know, okay, where the election is headed to. Now we know what will be the result. It is understood. That will be the thing. Yes, counter argument is there, but that is the current thing even now also. Even now we know any government that wins, any party that wins, UP, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, maybe Bihar, West Bengal, etc. If they win, we know for a fact that, okay, it's done. The elections are over. We don't even bother with the results regarding to other states. That is the reality even today. Correct? So it is not going to change much. But again, this will come in the news. Lot of articles will be written in the paper, The Hindu. Sensationalization will be there. See, why the government is doing all this? Because it is a requirement in the constitution. As per the census conducted, you have to bring changes to the constituency or the number of MPs or MLAs. This is a requirement in the constitution. So nobody can say that, no, this is not right. Nobody can say that. Constitutionally speaking, it is perfectly legal. Got the point here? Moving on. Rotation of reserved constituencies. Absence of similar reservations. And then women's reservation. What do you mean by these? Rotation of reserved constituencies, when you say, it is just that, okay, now this time this constituency is reserved. Next time it will be another constituency. Why? On the what basis it is done? Again, it is done on the basis of delimitation. So this is the reason why we need to conduct the census. Getting the point here, we need to conduct the census. We need to know who is who in our country. Absence of similar reservation. Now, if reservation is there for SC, ST, similar demands are coming from other sections of the society. Women's reservation is also there. But again, to materialize, it will take some time. As of now, currently, it is there for panchayats and municipalities. State level as well as Lok Sabha level, it will take some time. Voters list or electoral roll, you have it through is made, or electoral roll. This is maintained by the Election Commission of India. And here lies in the controversy of EPIC. That is electoral photo ID card. What does this mean? So I have explained this in my current affairs class also. See, whatever issue as highlighted by the opposition leader Mr. Rahul Gandhi MP, one must understand, is it only confined to the constituencies where Congress lost? That is, let us talk about bogus voting, no clear data, no clear name, no clear mentioning. Some names are like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, alphabets are placed up. Do you think so? Do you think it is only a problem associated with those constituencies where a non-Congress candidate won? No. It is actually a pan-Indian problem. Fake voting or bogus voters, that means not real, all this are a reality. And even in that, you have people, non-citizens also casting vote. This is an issue. So where is the trouble? As he said, is it because the Election Commission of India is incompetent? To an extent, it is true. Because initially, when Election Commission of India used to make out these voter rolls, etc., it used to be in what? In the pen and book format. You write down all the names, you give a number. Electoral photo ID card came into picture after digitalization was done. Internet facility, computer, website, everything is there. Now what happened is, in the pen and book format, they have one list. In the digital format, they have another list. You remember a few months back, the Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, also clearly told, how is it that in one name, you are having two different voter ID numbers? Election Commission of India gave the explanation, that is because we are yet to integrate the data. That is, the old data from the 90s is yet to be integrated with the electoral photo ID cards, which was issued maybe in the 2000s. Whose job it is to do that? Election Commission. Isn't it a sign of incompetence? Again, I would say to an extent. Because to do that job also, the next question is, do these people have the funds for it? Do these people have the staff for it? Election Commission of India will get control over the central government and the state government officers only when during the time of election. Not before that, not after that. They don't have it. Got the picture? So only before an election is about to start or during the election, they have the control. That means, can you blame the Election Commission of India for right now conducting the SIR in Bihar? Absolutely not. This is not my opinion. This is the same verdict given by the Honorable Supreme Court of our country. Supreme Court also has not struck down the SIR. SIR has to be conducted. Special intensive revision. Special intensive revision exercise when they conducted, guess what? Around 65 lakh people got removed from the voters list. 65 lakh. That many bogus voters or fake voters. Supreme Court just said that, okay, you removed 65 lakh for each booth. From which and all booth they were removed. Each constituency, which and all booth they were removed. Give the list of names and give the reason why they were removed. Coming to the next part. Who else has to be kept accountable? All the state government. Because most of the state government don't have data. They don't have any proper data system with regarding birth, death, or even migration. It is a state government's job to do it. I'm not pro-BJP, I'm neither pro-Congress. It is the job of every state government to register the birth, death, migration, etc. In UP, Bihar, put together, they found out that more than 4.5 lakh fake birth certificates were issued. Fake birth certificates. Then imagine how many death certificates would have issued like that then. Fake birth certificate, at least I can say, no, that person's name is this person's name is that. Correct. Or at least I can find the original person. No, this person is the original person. Whoever is dead, he is not going to come from his grave and tell that he is using my name to generate a fake birth certificate. Got the point here. State is responsible. Then, who else is guilty here for making this whole thing? Even the center. And I'm not talking about one government here, all the central governments here. Because believe it or not, we don't have a proper border with Pakistan, with Myanmar, or even with Bangladesh. I'm not joking. Proper border fencing, that is, we will be having proper border around our property. Correct. Village, it will be different. They may not have a border, but yes, still there will be an idea. This is my area, that is your area. We don't have a proper border fencing with Pakistan or Bangladesh or even with Myanmar. Most of these constructions have started and it will only get over maybe by 2030 or even after that. Some will get over before that. But understand the reality. Even after 78 years of independence, now we have started constructing the border. It is still a work in progress. So if you couldn't actually stop, that simply means illegally, how many people would have entered the country? How many people? From Bangladesh alone, the rough estimate is around 2 crore. They will influence the election. This is vote bank politics. This is that, and all you forget. This 2 crore can come here and create what and all law and order issue. The access to resources. They can also generate fake IDs and they can also start competing with others for government exams, for government resources, for subsidies, for ration, which should probably go to a genuine Indian. Got the picture here? This is why you need a census. This is why you need to have proper data of everybody in hand. Got the logic here? Moving on. Nomination of candidates. At least 25 people should support whichever candidate it is within the party. They will be given a symbol and the support of the political party. Whoever is standing for election, the candidate should give their nomination form and security deposit. They should reveal their pending criminal cases, whatever are there, their family's assets and liabilities, and even their educational qualification. Wait, I think it was minimum age 25, not 25 people supporting it. Yeah. Cut this part, redoing it again. Coming to nomination of candidates. So candidates who are taking part in the general elections to the Lok Sabha, they should have minimum age of 25. What symbol, political symbol, and the support of the party that they plan to stand for. They have to file their nomination form and give a security deposit. Whatever pending criminal cases are there, what is their family's assets and liabilities, educational qualification, all of these should be revealed. Election campaign is the election's core purpose. That is, when they get elected, what are they going to do? Campaign duration, what and all activities will be allowed in the campaign, successful slogans from past campaign regulation, and then model code of conduct. That means there are strict do's and don'ts here. Generally, 48 hours before the election campaign, before the voting starts, you are not supposed to do any more campaigning. You are not supposed to do any more campaigning. 48 hours. Model code of conduct is the do's and don'ts, whatever you can do during the campaign. What you cannot do during the campaign. That is what model code of conduct is. That kicks in. Model code of conduct kicks in from the time the Election Commission of India announces when will the election occur. When will the election happen? The election dates, once it is announced, from that point till the declaration of results, model code of conduct will be in place. Polling and conduct of votes. Polling and conduct of votes, like I told you, it is basically going to the polling booth, putting your vote there. So today it is EVM. Earlier it was ballot paper. Many people are telling, bring back the ballot paper, bring back the ballot paper. If there is a system where you can tamper with easily, that is ballot paper. Why? Ballot paper is all about making a mark, correct? Putting a stamp or a seal. So if there is, let us say, XYZ party, which I want to win, I placed my seal here. All right. I can, now this is proper. How to make this vote now invalid? How to make it invalid? All I have to do is take the seal and re-stamp it again. But what it will look now? It will look like a double entry. That is, half is here, another half is here. This vote will become invalid. It won't be counted. Easy it is. All I have to do is smudge it. Even put a little drop of water and smudge the ink. It is done. That vote will become invalid. Got the point here? Methods of election. First, pass the post system, which I already explained. It is a simple mechanism, majoritarian outcome. Local representation will suffer. It is not easy. It won't actually represent all the people's choice there. Limited proportional reflection. Because like I told you from our earlier example, it could be very much possible that a candidate won, but maybe let us say more than 60% did not vote for that candidate. There is a great chance for it. Then, Duverger's law. What is this Duverger's law? Let us see that. Duverger's law simply means it tries to encourage a two-party system. Because we clearly get to know who is going to rule, who is going to be the opposition. Correct? We easily get an understanding. Simplicity versus accuracy. It is very simple. Even an illiterate person will understand this. Critique is what? It doesn't represent the aspirations of the entire constituency. National versus regional trend. What do you mean by national versus regional trend? See, national versus regional trend, again, when we say, you don't get a clear picture as to for what the vote has gone. Have the people voted for national issues or have the people voted on the basis of local issues? Because national election, when you happen, generally we try to portray, okay, national issue, Pakistan, this, that, etc. But let us say the state people are like, what, Pakistan and all? We are worried about employment in my state. What is this? Again, that party may lose. Party can win. Got maximum votes from the other states. Let us say it got maximum votes from northern states plus western states. Okay. But in the southern states did not get any vote. But still, that party will form the central government. So it doesn't actually reveal any true picture as to, okay, why the people voted, why the people didn't vote. You will never get a clear picture from this. You cannot analyze a trend, etc. and find out, okay, this is the reason or that is the reason. You cannot clearly say it. This is the issue. But otherwise, why are we following this system then? It's very simple. Who got maximum votes? Okay, you are the winner. End of the story. That is, in a constituency, let us say, out of 100, 80 people voted for Nota. Nota means none of the above. I don't like anybody. I am not going to vote for any candidate. Okay? 80 went for Nota. 10 vote one fellow got. Other 2 fellows got only 5. Who is the maximum here again? 10. 10 will win. So far the scenario has not happened, but I'm telling you, maximum votes who got. That is the only criteria here. Got it? Proportional representation. So what do you mean by proportional representation? Now this is a little complex to understand. Proportional representation means A, B, C. 3 candidates are there. Again, 100 votes. First got 40, second got 30, this also got 30. So we know by default now A has won. Alright. Okay, 1 minute. The next in line is the next type of representation is proportional representation. What do you mean by this proportional representation? Proportional representation, what you do is A is there, B is there, C is there, D is there, E is there. 5 candidates are there. I need to choose 3 of them. So what do I do here? I will give my first preference. First preference for A, then second for C, third for B, fourth for D, fifth for E. This is how it is calculated. The preferences. Each preference for each candidate. So like that, what you will do is, need to select 3 people, right? So, first preference. Who got the highest? Maybe A got it, A won. That is the first thing. So A has won. Alright, maybe. So to win, how do you calculate the winning here? The winning is calculated, let us say, out of 100 votes, 100 people are there to vote. Alright, anybody who gets 30 is considered to be the winner. Okay, let us keep it 40. Anybody who gets 40 votes is the winner. So let us say A had 56 votes. First instance 56. Alright, 56 votes were there. How many are required to win? 40 only. That means A had 16 votes extra. Correct? These 16 votes will be transferred to, proportionally transferred to B, C, D, E. We transfer to B, C, D, E. First preference, A1. So it is over. Now what are we going to calculate? We'll transfer it and then we will calculate who got the highest second preference among B, C, D, E. Let us say now C. C1. Who is remaining? B, D, E. Again, what you will do? Whatever extra votes C got, you will transfer it to B, D, E. Then you will calculate who got the highest third preference. In that, you will get the third candidate. End of the story. I know. Already many are thinking, how do we do the transfer, this, that, etc.? It is a little complicated. I have explained this in my Polity and Governance class. This level of detailing is not required for your NCERT series. It is not required. Chances that you will be asked a question where a numerical is given to you and you are asked to solve proportional representation in the exam, very, very, very less. One question you may get, but otherwise, no. Proportional representation system is used for the elections of President, Rajya Sabha, etc. Alright. There's a basic level understanding that I've given it to you here. I've taken it in detail in my Pinnacle batch. This is just for your understanding, especially for those candidates again who are giving even other banking or other exams. Just know what it is, that is enough. So when you have, it brings in a sense of representation where everybody gets represented properly. Every state gets represented, especially in Rajya Sabha. You will end up getting a diverse parliament, but obviously it will be very, very, very complex. It is not easy. When layman people also will find it very difficult to understand this. For coalition governments, this is best. You will have very diverse representation. Wasted votes. Votes are never wasted here because you get extra, it gets added to the next candidate. Varied models are there, and globally also it has its own set of applications. Got it? And generally you do this where you need more on representation. Where you need more of representation, not about one candidate winning. You need that every section of the population should get their representation. There you do this. So proportional to the percentage. So there will be people who want E to win. There will be people who want D to win. See, proportional to the percentage of the population, candidates are selected. So you can call it, it is actually far more representative system, but very confusing, very time consuming, very difficult to calculate, etc. That is why it is only used in rare cases. We are using it for Rajya Sabha, we are using it for presidential election, and as well as MLC elections also. Country is divided into small geographical units called constituencies or districts for the election purpose. Which one? First past the post system. Large geographical areas are demarcated as constituencies. The entire country may be a single constituency. Anything it can be. From every constituency, you will only have one representative. Which one? First past the post system. Whereas under proportional representation, one representative may be elected. More than one may be elected from one constituency. Because like I told you, for each section of the population, it is like one person. Like that it is. Voter votes for a candidate. Your voter votes for the party. Party may get more seats than votes in the legislature. How is that possible? Because it is all about winning. Getting the point here. You may have a larger number of people who didn't want to vote for you. It is very much possible. But ultimately, it only matters what, have you won that seat? Who got the maximum votes in that particular constituency? That person will win. Here, every party gets seats in legislature in proportion to the percentage of vote that it gets. Higher the percentage of votes, higher will be your representation in Rajya Sabha. That is the reason why it is important for the BJP to win the state elections. So whoever will ask me actually that BJP is doing this vote thing, that thing, I only ask them one question. If BJP really had, if I was actually the head of BJP and I actually could have influenced the election outcome, long time ago only I would have ensured West Bengal it is a BJP government. State of Kerala it is a BJP government. In Tamil Nadu it is a BJP government. In Tamil Nadu, other than DMK and AIDMK, no party has ever won. Long ago, very long ago, Congress used to win there. But other than that, no party has ever won there. It is always between these two. In Telangana, I could have ensured that I win. Who will get to know? If I really could have influenced the election voting outcome, I could have done that. Why it is important to win the state elections? Because states take part in the election to Rajya Sabha. More states are there that takes part in, more BJP's ruled states are there, means automatically what will happen? In Rajya Sabha also I will get a majority. I can bring any controversial bill, anything I want to bring, I can bring it easily and get it passed. As simple as that. No headaches. Candidate who wins the election may not get majority votes. It is true. They won't even, sometimes it is not necessary that they get the majority vote. As I showed you earlier. Candidate who wins the election gets the majority of votes. That is very, very true. UK, India uses the system. The system is used in Israel and Netherlands. Again, same thing. Reasons for adopting FPTP system in India. Popularity and simplicity is the direct choice, and you can ensure accountability because you know, okay, this is the candidate. I can directly go and question him. Highly unsuitable. PR is not suitable in India because if you look at it over here, look at the examples. Israel, Netherlands. Israel, very small country. Netherlands, even more smaller. So in such small places where population is very less, you can use it. Whereas in India with such huge diversity, you start using PR means it can become very confusing and time consuming. Two-party structure and the nuances. Yes, FPTP system generally encourages a two-party system, which is ruling party and opposition. So everybody has a clarity. NDA is ruling. India Alliance is the opposition. No confusion there. For Rajya Sabha elections, which are indirect elections, for that we have used what? Proportional representation for allocation of seats, and the election process is based on single transferable vote, which is based on quota and surplus transfer. Again, I'm not going into the details of it. The only reason being that it is very confusing. You may get one question, but beyond that, chances are very less. That, okay, what is the proportional representation system? Explain how single transferable vote system will work. How does the quota work, surplus transfer work? No. Chances are very less. Historically speaking, also it has not been asked. You need to know, yeah, single transferable vote system, it is part of proportional representation used in Rajya Sabha elections where you have a quota and a surplus transfer. However, I have explained it in my Pinnacle class. There you can take, there if you have joined it, you will understand it. There I have explained it. Here in the textbook also, they have not gone into in-depth detail of explaining this. So let us leave it at that. Clear, people? In addition to that, you will have what? Representation of different parties are there. And Rajya Sabha, it's a continuous house. As one batch gets retired, that is every 6 years, one batch of MPs will retire from Rajya Sabha. Another fresh batch is elected again based on the same system. Whichever party gets the maximum votes, they get the maximum number of seats. Factors making election in India democratic. You have an independent election commission. They are not answerable to the government. That is the first thing you have to understand. Election Commission of India is a constitutional body. They need not answer to the central government. They enforce the code of conduct. And the Election Commission of India is set up under Article 324. There are state chief electoral officers, single and multi-member commission. That is, initially it was single. Later on, it became a multi-member commission. Equal powers and accountability. That is even though we have a chief election commissioner, doesn't mean that he is superior. All the three have equal powers and they are all accountable. Appointment process and reform, it is something which is still under controversy. All right, Election Commission of India, when we actually have to know whether our election commission is truly neutral, you look at the selection process and let me know who actually are involved in the selection process of the chief election commissioner. They have security of tenure and they cannot be removed arbitrarily. Universal franchise and right to contest from the 61st Amendment Act 1988, 21 years, that is to vote, it was lowered to 18 years. Embrace a non-discriminatory approach, acceptance of election outcome. One must accept it. That is, if you are lost, you have to accept you have lost. You cannot handpick and cherry pick examples and say that, see, there I did not win because something happened there. Wherever I won, I have no issues. Everything was perfect. Wherever I lost, things were imperfect. You cannot do that. Getting the point here, that is actually, you are a sore loser. That is what it signifies. Because let me tell you, the initial issue was all with electronic voting machine. And I don't know how many of you follow current affairs diligently. In that, again, this voting machine was given to the opposition. It was given to the Aam Aadmi Party, or it was even given to the Congress. And they basically told, can you just prove how can you hack it? Not single person could prove it because it is simple. Your electronic voting machine's technology is the same technology what is there in a calculator. In a calculator, when you press 5, it should come as a 5. When you press 3, it comes as a 3. Hack and show me a calculator and I will believe you can hack a EVM. And it does not support any Bluetooth device, any Wi-Fi connectivity, nothing is there. Got the picture here? Free and fair elections. Challenges, money, corruption, criminals. Obviously. Party systems. There is one party system like in China, two party in USA. we have a multi-party system. What is a political party? A collective group of people that formulates policies and they reflect society's varying perspectives. Functions of political parties are contesting election, policy formulation, legislative influence. That is, they can influence legislations. How influence legislations? Say, for example, during the UPA tenure, one of the coalition partner of UPA was CPM. UPA wanted to go ahead with the nuclear deal with USA. CPM did not allow it. Got the point here? CPM did not allow, even though they were of the same coalition. They formed the government and opposition dynamics. That is, as if they are part of the opposition, how they will perform various activities inside the legislature. They help in shaping public opinion and also ensure access to governance. General points. Importance of political parties, governance and policy formulation, accountability and responsibility, formation of factions or divisions. That is, they can undergo split from the main party and form another party. Global prevalence. All over the world, democratic countries, if you see, the aspirations of the people are shaped actually by political parties. And it is through these political parties that again bills or laws are made or amended or repealed. Challenges, lack of internal democracy. That is, there are certain political parties in our country, again, I'm not going to name it, where you're not supposed to speak anything against the top brass. Dynastic succession. Father, son, grandson, great-grandson, and it keeps on going. Basically, nepotism. Money and muscle power. That is, obviously, you have unaccounted wealth. Money plus criminals. Lack of meaningful choice. Sometimes what happens is, even though we have multiple parties, when you look at it, everything finally, you wonder what the hell. Best example I will tell you, take the electoral bond scheme. Electoral bond scheme, was there a single political party which did not get the benefit of it? You take the whole list. Everybody will say, CCC, BJP got this much money. Agreed. Below that, every political party in this country has got benefit out of it. Got the point here? Because if I am a corporate owner, I have 5,000 crore worth assets or whatever, I'm that level rich. I am not just going to put money into the ruling party's pockets. I'm going to put into the opposition's pocket also and every other small party. Because I don't know in which state which party will come. I don't know in center also what type of coalition may come, which type of single party may come. Because Indian elections are highly unpredictable. So what will I do? Yes, the probability that this X party will win maximum votes. I'll take the name only. Let us say BJP will maximum votes. So I'll give BJP a little more money. Congress I may give little less. Samajwadi Party I may give even more less. Trinamool I may give it even more less. Because I'm a businessman. I don't have permanent enemies, permanent friends. So even if the party says, some party comes and says, well, you gave us very less, I will say, win the election and come. I will give you very high, even more than this. When have I said no to you? Come on, sir. I'll do buttering there. So the electoral bond scheme, when you look at it, finally you will understand that, oh my God, which party will I vote for? Which party will I support? So never support any party, only support the government. Because that you have to do. That you will definitely have to do. Because it is the government. Oh, that party is in power. No, that government is in power. Right now they have been elected by the people. People's mandate you cannot change. People have voted somebody into power, you have to respect it, whether you like it or not. And especially when you're entering into the government field, when you're preparing for a government job, state, center, doesn't matter. You're going to become a state government employee, central government employee. So obviously you will have to what? Remember, you're a government employee. You work for the government. Got the point? People may say, no, I work for the people. People didn't put you there. Government conducted an exam. Based on the outcome of the exam, they have appointed you. You're answerable to the government. Whichever party may come and go. Got the point? So stay completely politically neutral. Don't even bother to enter into political discussions because it is totally useless. But always be pro-government, whether be it at state, whether be it at the center. Clear? Moving on. Suggested reforms. Enactment of legislations to improve, make the voting process, etc. even more transparent and better. An idea that is being toyed with is e-voting, which has already been conducted on a trial basis in multiple elections. Can you name a few in the comment section? Mandating a quota for women candidates, state funding of elections. That is what in USA, how it is held in USA. In USA, the state funds the election. So that complete idea is that how much money is spent. Whereas in our country, each political party spends the money. It is generally said, whenever Indian economy has to go down, all you have to do is conduct an election. Why? Whatever black money is there in the system, which is hidden away, that re-enters into the system. You need more of public participation because these days what you can generally see is most of the public have become totally neutral towards elections. Election simply means an extended weekend, long drawn holiday. That is what it means. Bringing changes to the first past the post system so that you have a more representative system, more of gender representation, money control, which is very similar to the state funding. Criminal cases, the 130th Constitutional Amendment Bill, which has been introduced in the Parliament. What is it about? Can anybody tell me? Caste and religious appeal should be stopped with. We can always see even people who are in responsible positions using religion and caste to actually garner votes. That some break should be put on it. Transparent political parties. Where are they getting their funds from? Where are the money going into? For what purpose have they used it? That should become even more evident. Clear, people? Gender and politics. Legislature representation is required. There is an education divide in the country when it comes to women. There is an unequal workforce is also there. That is, women are not represented in the workforce. Women are not represented or women are not paid money also properly. Sex selective abortion is there. That is, still female feticide is very high in our country. High level of domestic violence. Again, murdering your wife in front of your child. Over 36 lakhs. And over the fact that she started her own beauty parlor and she tried to drive a Mercedes Benz. These are the reasons to murder the wife. Imagine. Here again, I would like to criticize the Election Commission of India, because Election Commission of India, when somebody asked, the reporter asked, what about CCTV visuals? The answer given by him was, oh, you want the video of our women and our daughters and our mothers and our sisters to be handed over like that? That is patriarchy. A woman's identity still being associated with, oh, this man's wife, that man's sister, this man's daughter, simply again reinforces the idea that a woman is not meant to have her own identity. I am Nikhil Ram. That is what matters here. I am taking political classes. That is the only thing that matters. My name, my job. Finished. I am married to somebody. I am the father of somebody. Doesn't matter. That is my private affair. It is none of anybody's business. When I can say that as a man, that same right should be there for a female. To just say that, oh, their video will go out. What video are you talking about? Is it a bedroom video? Is it a video where they are changing their dress? No, they have come there to cast their votes. And in a public space, public CCTV visuals, anybody should have access to it. To actually brush the whole thing aside as an infringement to the privacy of a woman and her bodily rights is nothing but patriarchy at its peak. Got the point here? Religion, communalism and politics in India. Caste and politics. Again, these two things unfortunately continues to decide the outcome of an election. As long as religion is the reason why you will cast your vote, or caste is the reason why you will cast your vote, don't worry, India will never change. And again, where religion is there, caste is there, then automatically what will happen? Vote also will go only for whom? The men, rather than women. Because there are still, unfortunately, men in the country who don't want women to go work, who feels emasculated when the women starts working or earning more than them. Got the point here? Because all these are interconnected. Because no religion out there actually, even though they may say we worship women, we do this, we that, all the religions of the world have only tried to keep women inside the house, inside four walls. That is the reality. All the religions of the world. No religion actually says that you should allow the woman to go out and work. No religion will say that. And as long as you use religion and caste-based logic to determine the outcome of an election, women will continue to suffer in the country. There will be more instances of a woman getting beaten up brutally, black and blue, where the husband and his mother feels that what we did was the right thing. She deserved to die. Don't want to live with her? Give a divorce. Why give trauma to your own son? Got the point here? Again, my Telegram channel people. With that, we come to an end of our session here. I know some of you will be wondering why he didn't explain proportional. Again, I am telling you, for NCERT, that much is enough. A need to know basis. Sometimes you should also understand when a faculty leaves a topic at a certain point, it is only because it is not important. Not every topic requires your attention. Not everything that is reported in the paper requires your attention. Not every complaint that comes to you as a district collector or as an SP, whatever complaint comes to you, requires your attention. Art of preparing for a government exam is to know what to pick, what to live. Because if you at least understand this is not needed, 90% of your preparation will get done. You will have only very limited content to prepare from. All right, people. Take care. All the best. God bless.